welcome back to the channel. What I'm going to be doing, I'm doing this video in my car because I'm going to work and I'm off early today at 6:30, so I want to be able to edit it and then upload it once I'm off. So this video right here is pretty much my second week of pregnancy, so I'm just going to go through my symptoms from weeks, I believe second week is considered from week 5 through 8, I believe. Let me just double check. But basically, I'm going to go over what I was feeling once I found out I was pregnant. If you haven't seen the video for my first month of pregnancy, go back and take a look. But basically, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. I'm going to go through the pregnancy journal, the pregnancy Bible, as I call it. That's the third month. Where the heck is my second month? Okay, second month. Alrighty, so second month is approximately 5 weeks through 8 weeks. Yeah, so I was right. So this is what it looks like here in the book. So we'll just bookmark that for once I get to that segment of the video. But we're going to jump right into it, so stay tuned and hope you enjoy. See you guys in a minute. Alrighty, so welcome back again. Like I said, I'm in the car. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, because today is the 19th, so Thanksgiving is 3 days away. I have an anatomy scan and a possible gender reveal. I am team green, but I'm thinking I have an anatomy scan in 2 days. I don't know if I'm going to decide at the last minute to find out the gender. Who knows, but as of right now, it's irrelevant. Okay, so week 5 of pregnancy was August 11th through the 17th. Okay, so on the 11th, my semen was still creamy. My cervix, of course, was high, soft, and closed. I had some nausea, some bloating, and some cramping. On the 12th, I had nausea, backache, and pelvic pain. And then on the 13th, I was fatigued, bloating, gas, and I had light twinges inside of my belly. On the 16th, I had an appointment, my first appointment. My blood pressure was 113/82. I weighed 156 pounds. The symptoms I was experiencing on that day was nausea, fatigue, frequent urination, my nipples were sore, and my sex drive had increased. So that was week 5, pretty much. Everything that I was experiencing is just pretty much a lot of bloating and gas. I looked like I was already 4 or 5 months. I actually was so bloated. I was so bloated that I actually looked like I look now, and now I'm officially 5 months pregnant. So, okay, so week 6, which was the 18th through the 24th. On the 24th, I was peeing. I was super thirsty. So right around this time, I have a problem with drinking water. Water and me just do not get along. But for some reason throughout this pregnancy, especially in week 6, it just kicked up where I was just craving water. So I was just extremely thirsty. I was fatigued. Let me see. Yeah, peeing a lot, thirsty, fatigued, backache. I had constipation. Okay, so week 6, I grew into constipation, gas, and oh my God, I had eczema up the butt crack. Like my elbows, like it freaked me out because I was like, what is this? It's a rash. Like I have an infection on my arms. It's like fungus because my elbows were just completely covered in eczema and they just itched so bad. Even hydrocortisone would not help subside the pain. It was just like, oh, I've never had eczema in my life, and I was just like, what is this? And I've been pregnant 3 times before and never had any skin problems. So hoping it's a boy. So starting kicking into week 7, which was August 25th through the 30th, on 8/26, I had another appointment, which is the one that I scheduled with my OBGYN, which is right now my practitioner. My blood pressure was 124/79. I was 153 pounds. On the 28th, I had a headache and I had fatigue. On the 29th, I had a headache, fatigue, and cramps, and I was nauseous. On the 30th, I had another appointment, follow-up appointment with the original clinic that confirmed my pregnancy, just to make sure that the pregnancy was in the correct space and all that stuff. My blood pressure was 113/81, which was my first ultrasound at 6 weeks and 5 days. The heartbeat was at 125. 6 weeks and 3 days, heartbeat for the baby was at 125 beats per minute. So that was awesome to see that, yes, the pregnancy was viable. The baby was in the correct place. It wasn't in my tube. It was in my uterus. There was a yolk sac. There was a heartbeat. And it was a pretty good heartbeat from what the doctor told me at that point. So I was stoked about that. This is when it really hit home for us that we were pregnant because, again, I found out at 3 weeks and 5 days. So to actually see the baby on the monitor and see the heartbeat. Okay, so now going into week 8, which is the 1st of September through the 7th. On the 1st, I was very, very tired. This is when the fatigue started to pick up for me. I was very, very tired. I had pelvic discomfort, nausea, and then the excessive saliva kicked in. Oh my God, like literally, I will be talking and little drool will just be falling out of my mouth. And I just like, I'm so embarrassed, but I can't stop drooling. Like my mouth is just salivating so much. It was just crazy to me. Sleeping, I was drooling on my pillows. It was just a whole new world for me. On the second, I just had chills. I just remember I kept getting chills. For some strange reason, I was just getting chills, which was a part of my pregnancy symptoms. Chills, having chills. So on the third as well, I had the same chills. On the fourth, I had chills. I was fatigued, but in addition to that, my boobs ached. And then I had nausea, pelvic discomfort, and excessive saliva still. On the fifth, I actually gagged. Felt like I was getting sick. I was fatigued, excessive saliva, and nausea again. So then on the 7th, the last day of my, this is like 7 weeks and 6 days. On the 7th, I had extreme fatigue. I couldn't even get out of the bed. I was nauseous, headache, and excessive saliva. How I do my pregnancy, when I say, so that's weeks, that's the second month. And how I calculate these times is, when I say that my 8th week means that I have completed 7 weeks of pregnancy. So technically in my calendar it says 7 weeks pregnant, but I'm somewhere in my 8th week. So I consider it to be my 8th week. Like right now I'm in my 18th week. So on my calendar it says 18 weeks. But for me, I've completed 18 weeks of pregnancy, and I'm actually in my 19th week. I'm 3 days into my 19th week of pregnancy. So when I say 8 weeks, that actually means I was 7 weeks in 1 day, 7 weeks in 2 days, 7 weeks in 3 days, as I rattle off the days for you guys. So that was pretty much week, month. So to sum up month 2 for me, it's like basically the highs of month 2 was seeing the baby and seeing that there was actually a baby in there and hearing the heartbeat. And everything just becoming real, like, yes, we're having a baby. My biggest fear, I had 2 lows in my 2nd month. One was not so much of a low as extreme as the other, but the eczema on my elbows was so freaking crazy. And then my face is actually dry. My skin was actually dry to where I did not need primer. I normally have oily skin, but because my skin had just completely dried out, I did not need any kind of primer when I was doing my makeup. So but the eczema on my elbows, because it just itched and it kept me awake, and certain fabrics would bother it more than others, just things like that. And then the other low was, I'm not technically considered as high risk. I know my last daughter was, so to speak, what I call my miracle baby, because according to my doctor, I wasn't supposed to be able to conceive after an issue with an IUD. But the second low for the 2nd month was the worry of, not being able to completely enjoy the pregnancy and not being able to completely share it with people because of the fear of early miscarriage and those type of things. So that was just one of the lows for me, and that was one of the more major lows for me. But I remained positive, and yeah, so that's that. So I'm going to go into the pregnancy journal, the Bible of pregnancy, which is what I like to call it, and just cover the 2nd month and go according to what they say. In this section, there's just a bunch of different things, but I'll show you guys. This is what the baby looks like in the 2nd month. Looks a little funny. Your baby this month, it just says for week 5, it still resembles a tadpole, but it's growing fast. Week 6, head crown to rump. Bottom measurements are used for babies in the first half of your pregnancy. Here's an amazing fact about the baby. He or she has 10 times, the baby is 10,000 times bigger now than it was at conception in week 7. And then in week 8, it says your baby has grown up a storm this week, measuring about 1/2 to 2/3 of an inch. which is so crazy to me because I remember at this point reading this, it was like my baby's only a half an inch long, and now to consider that in my 5th month of pregnancy, how much the baby has grown. And that is just amazing to me. So then on the next page it gives you this, which is just a diagram of where the baby is, what it looks like inside of your uterus, and then it has some symptoms. So physical symptoms, fatigue, lack of energy, and sleepiness, which I did experience a lot in the 2nd month. I also had the frequent urination, the nausea, the excessive saliva. I also battled with constipation from week 6 till to 8 weeks. Yeah, I did. Never really had any heartburn or indigestion, but I did have flat gas and bloating. I didn't have any food aversions or cravings outside of the fact that I loved spicy. Like, I loved lime or tapatio and sriracha on everything. Like, just spicy was like my favorite thing to have. I did have white creamy CM. Lots of breast changes. No, not for me. More very many breast changes in this month. I did have occasional headaches though. No dizziness or lightheaded, and then I didn't have round ligament pains per se. I had little twinges, which I think to me was just like the baby just implanting or digging in a little bit more, like not really too much of anything. Emotionally, the only thing, like I said, was just the fear of an early miscarriage. And then again, I did have the joy and excitement of the finding out that there was actually a viable baby in there. But other than that, that was all. So that's it. Inside the book, it goes over heartburn, food aversions and cravings, visible veins, which I didn't have anything like that. My boyfriend did have sympathy symptoms though, because I'm normally the sweet eater in the house and he's not, but he actually took to eating ice cream and cakes and cookies and stuff, and I kind of lost my appetite for those things. Like I said, I wanted more spicy type of things, so I was eating a lot of Thai food and a lot of anything that I could put hot sauce on. I even put hot sauce in my bacon cheddar soup. Like, I was just putting hot sauce on anything. I like to think that he did. I think there was a couple of days where he felt nauseous, and I was like, okay, so that's another sympathy pain for myself. But that's it. I didn't have it. It goes over spider veins, varicose veins, achy or swollen pelvis. I didn't really have any of that. Breakouts. I did break out throughout this whole pregnancy since month 1. I'm always breaking out constantly. Like, I can't really keep up with my skin. Right now, in 5 months of pregnancy, I'm not really having breakouts anymore. So it's been 5 months of consistent breakouts. So month 2, I did break out. My skin was dry. Like, I get crazy that that's in here because my skin did dry out tremendously. The eczema, I did have eczema in this 2nd month. This is crazy. The come and go belly, yes. Like I said, I was bloated. I would eat, it would get bigger. I would go to the restroom, it would go away. If I drank water, it would get bigger. Like, it was just a come and go belly, and I was like, I know that I can't see. I felt like I was already showing, but in actuality, I was just bloated. But seeing as this is my 4th pregnancy, I know that I'm going to show earlier. I knew that I was going to show sooner than first-time moms, but it just looked like my belly was just huge, like, for real, for real. But yeah, the come and go pregnancy, I did have a lot of that. No real worries. At this point, I did have a couple of piercings, which I did remove my piercings. I removed my belly piercing, and then I had a little piercing, hoo-ha, and I removed that as well. At my appointment, my doctor was like, of course, you know, you're going to have to remove that. So I just went ahead and took it out right then and there. No real difficulty urinating. Mood swing-wise, I wouldn't say I really had any mood swings at that point. I was not depressed. I didn't experience any panic attacks. Weight gain during pregnancy. In the first and the 2nd month, I didn't really gain any weight. I think I gained maybe like a pound in the 1st month, and then in the 2nd month, I gained maybe 1.5 pounds, and then that was it. I do have a normal BMI, so I am in that bracket of where 30 to 35 pounds is the normal weight gain for pregnancy. I think I'm actually going to supersede that, but who really cares? There's a baby, and I just wanted to grow and be healthy. So that is pretty much it for the 2nd month. I'm glad that you guys tuned in and enjoyed this video. Like I said, we are Team Green. We do not plan on finding out the gender. In my next video, somewhere probably after the next video for month 3 or in between this video, and I will be posting a video of baby buys for the 1st trimester, because I bought a lot of my stuff in the 1st trimester, because for me it was like I already basically know what I need for a baby, and I did not plan on having a baby shower. And so for me, it was just like, I'm just gonna buy all the things that I know that I'm gonna need, and then, you know, whatever, because I did not plan on having a baby shower. So I did make purchases and got a lot of the basic stuff. So I'll do a haul video and show you guys exactly what I've purchased up and so far for the baby. Sorry, I'm getting ready to go into work, so I just want to make sure that my weave is on point, okay? Because I can't just walk into work looking all any kinds of ways. That just does not work out, no. And plus, this is a new fresh weave, so it's too early for it to be looking crazy. But I'll do a video with all of my baby buys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them down below. I hope I didn't forget anything. I'll try to attach some kind of belly pictures to this, but at this point, like I said, it was just a lot of bloat, no real belly showing. But thanks, guys, and I'll